Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The Auburn Tigers continue to get it done on the 2024 high school recruiting trail, landing another commitment, this time going to South Florida and going and grabbing Dimitri Nichols, a 6'3", 295-pound defensive lineman, and what I think is a really nice pivot. You obviously miss out on Kamarion Franklin last weekend. Auburn was kind of in the running for that one up until like the last couple days. What does Hugh Freeze and the staff do? They go out and kind of a really nice pivot play, adding Dimitri Nicholas, who we're going to get into the film. I mean, this is a guy that is a game wrecker from the inside. Is he as twitched up and good off the ball as Kamarion Franklin? Probably not. But the power that he has in his hands, in the sense of just dragging into your offensive lineman right into the lap of the quarterback, you'll see a couple pancakes on the film as well from the defensive line spot. This is truly a guy that is powerful. He's good in the run game. He busts up pockets. I think a really nice get for the Auburn Tigers. Probably gets up to 310, 315 pounds and is a stalwart in the middle of that defensive line for a couple of years. Now, this is a good win. I mean, you take a look at the offers that he had. Only a 3-star ranking, but the Florida Gators were in on him. The Miami Hurricanes were in on them. The Michigan Wolverines were in on him. And Hugh Freeze able to go get it done. Now, before we get into the film, just want to take a second and say thank you to the Auburn fans. Like, it's truly been a blast talking this team. And for those who've been rocking with the boys all summer long, like, can't thank you guys enough. Trying to break down as many of these commitments as we can and preview what Auburn is going to look like in 2023. It's been a blast talking with you guys in the comment section. So if you do enjoy the content, you want to support the boys, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, appreciate y'all for rocking with us like you guys have. And let's get into Dimitri Nicholas, and what he brings. I want to just go right to the film here and talk about like the power that he has in his hands. Like, you're going to see him kind of just drag offensive linemen right into the lap of the quarterback, extend guys out, puts offensive linemen in the dirt, and goes out and makes a play. And then on the next play, like I said, probably not as good off the ball as Kamarion Franklin. You take a look right here. He's going to shoot a gap, get in the backfield really, really quick. I mean, you rewind that, he's out of his stance before most of the offensive linemen are out of their stance. And so, like, maybe underselling him a little bit in terms of what he can do. I mean, most of these offensive linemen, not even out of their stance. Dimitri Nicholas already in the backfield, making a play. This is a guy that I really, really like. And you're going to see this play. Like, this is probably the most evident of just like, I'm an alpha dog. Absolute power in his hands. Massive holding penalty, by the way. I don't know what the ref was looking at there. I mean, literally just gets wrapped around from the backside, continues to work through it, and goes out and makes a play in space. And there is a lot to like about what Dimitri Nicholas brings to the table for the Auburn Tigers. You talk about getting a little bit of a pass rush on the inside, blowing up pockets, but also just being a stalwart in the run game. I mean, you don't know what he is, where he's lining up then, but then you just see the guy just put that offensive lineman in the dirt. How he gets off the ball is, I think, really good for his size. But what I'm most impressed with is just the strength that he plays with. I mean, in terms of just getting right into the chest of this offensive lineman and kind of just putting the quarterback right on the butt. Make a play in space as well. This is a really good get for the Auburn Tigers. Last one we'll watch, again, just absolutely dogs that offensive lineman, puts him in the dirt, works through it, finds the quarterback. Really good get for the Auburn Tigers. And you take a look at this class, and I know a lot of the talk goes to Hugh Freeze on the offensive side of the ball, and that's what we're craving for as Auburn fans, right? Brian Harsin era, just not nearly enough talent on either side of the ball, quite frankly, coming in. But for the offense, like, it was just kind of a wasteland of talent, and that might be a little disrespectful. But Brian Harsin just did not get it done on the offensive side of the ball. You're already seeing Hugh Freeze come in and change that narrative really quickly, landing Walker White, who I think is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the 2024 class, 6'3", 215, rocket arm, good athlete. And then you have Perry Thompson, the 5-star wide receiver you flip from Alabama. And then on the defensive side of the ball, this is what I'm probably most impressed with, is you got 5-star athlete. I mean, DeMarcus Riddick, he could play edge, he could play linebacker. He's going to do a lot of different things for Auburn. You go out and land him. Joseph Phillips, another guy who I think could be a great off-ball backer, but also an edge rusher. And then in the back end, guys like Jalen Crawford, Amon Lane, Jaden Lewis. This is a defense that is also coming along. And what's most exciting for Auburn, you're sitting as a top 15 class with only 17 commits in the boat, is one, I think you could see a lot of late flip commitments, but two, they're trending for some guys that could be coming off the board relatively quickly. Let's go to Zaquan Patterson. He commits tomorrow, the 4-star safety from Hollywood, Florida. It sounds like Florida State is in the lead for this one going into the last 24 hours. That being said, we can't ignore what Auburn is doing in terms of just getting in all of these recruitments, right? KJ Bolden, Kamarion Franklin, anyone who visits Auburn, it seems to be just a really infectious place because they're always in it for like the top 3, top 5. And whether or not Hugh Freeze lands Zaquan Patterson, I think it's just evidence that like you get these guys on campus, like they are very interested in where this Auburn Tigers program is going. And then you look at a guy who I really think could be joining this Auburn class from what you're hearing. Top 100, one of the best interior offensive linemen in this class. DeAndre Carter, all the way out in Mater Dei, 6'4", 340 pounds. We've talked a little bit about him. He commits September 3rd. Could be a very nice addition to this Auburn class in 2024. Any way you cut it, I think you're seeing this Auburn program. This is something that a lot of Auburn fans have already heard me talk about. Any way you cut it, you're seeing this Auburn program do a much better job in the talent acquisition part. I trust Hugh Freeze as an on-field coach. I think he's one of the most bright minds on the offensive side of the ball. I really think Ron Roberts was a phenomenal hire on the defensive side of the ball. So you got your play callers, you got your coaches on field. Now it's about getting that talent to compete with the top programs in the SEC like Alabama and Georgia. And you're seeing Hugh Freeze starting to get it going on the recruiting trail. And that is the key for this Auburn Tigers program to get back to where they belong. And whether they win 7 games, whether they win 6 games, whether they win 8 games, which is certainly in the realm of possibility, this Auburn Tigers program through 2024, 2025, you see it going in the right direction. It's going in the right direction really quickly. A fun team to talk about again. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys. If you do enjoy the content, again, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.